Yo, what's up, guys? It's Andrew from ProducerSociety.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about the Arpeggiator in GarageBand. This is going to be a short tutorial because, frankly, the Arpeggiator is super easy to use. I'm just going to run through some of the parameters, and I'm also going to show you the step-by-step process for how I always go about using it. So as you can see in this article here at ProducerSociety.com, I've laid out a 4-step process for how to go about using it in terms of how I use it anyway. So what I do is I create the MIDI melody using an instrument, for instance, the Steinway grand piano. I copy the notes using the copy Command C function. I paste it into the new track region. And then that's essentially what I do. Like, that's it. You just paste the exact notes into the Arpeggiator track region. And then I find that's often enough, like you don't really need to go far beyond that. However, obviously there are more parameters, and we're going to discuss some of those, and we're going to show you some other things that you can do. So as I mentioned, we've got all these other Arpeggiator options, right? So if we go into it right now, you can see all of these patterns, right? There's so many of them. I don't even know how many of them there are. It's probably at least 50. So let's try this out with Zen Garden. I actually like that a lot. That sounds dope. Let's try Bouncing Funk. That one doesn't sound very good. So I mean, there's so many of them, right? You can go through each one and try and see what you think sounds good. As I said in the article, you also got your note order, right? So you can choose up, and that's literally going to take the notes up. Down. Up and down. We already heard that one, actually. This is outside in. Random. And then as played. So that's going to play the notes as they are played, obviously. So we got some more things, some more parameters as well. So right now it's at 1/16, which is very fast. So let's drop it down to 1/8, and we'll see how that sounds. So you'll notice that's obviously much slower, right? And that's essentially what the rate doing. It's controlling how fast or slow the notes are. Let's put it down to a half note and see how that sounds.
By the way, I got a present for you. Go to ProducerSociety.com/free mixing cheat sheet. That'll put you on my list to get a free mixing cheat sheet. And I send all kinds of cool tips and stuff that I don't share anywhere else. You can also join my forum at forum.ProducerSociety.com. For now, it's totally free to sign up, but in the future, I'll probably lock it down and then turn it into a full course platform.
So as you can see, it's significantly slower, right? So let's try, let's go down to 1 and 1/28. That's going to be ridiculous. Yeah, that is ridiculous. All right, so now you got your octave range. Now this is controlling by how many octaves you are transitioning from. So for instance, we're at 2 octaves right now. So that means the arpeggiator, it's going to play the notes of the progression that you've created between 2 different octaves. So let's say you play a C major chord, C, E, G. Well, it's going to play C, E, G at octave 1 and C, E, G at octave 2. So just 2 different octaves. However, if you select 4, it's going to go the C, E, G. Like thinking of a keyboard, for instance, you get your C, E, G at the bottom, C, E, G at the quarter way, halfway, and then the end again. So if you got your octave, right, 4 octaves, it's going to be playing those notes all across the keyboard at 4 different octaves, right? So that's essentially what the octaves are doing. So let's try that out and see what it sounds like. Right now it's at 4 octaves. let's try it at number 3. Two. Let's try it at 1. See what that sounds like. Probably won't sound that great. So you notice that when I have it at octave 1, it's eliminating those higher harmonic notes that you could hear before. So, for instance, pay attention to the way it sounds at 4. You're gonna hear some of these higher notes. Listen. So that's just an idea of what it's doing. So that's pretty much it, honestly. That's your options. Of course, each arpeggiator instrument comes with its own parameters as well. So you got reverb, delay, release, decay, noise, tone, timbre, character. Now, if you go, let's say, Gamalean bells, that's got different parameters as well. Each one is different, right? Additionally, you have even more controls, right? You got transform, which is this. It's going to change the actual style of and then you got your controls right here. And each one has its own, right? So it's really up to you to decide what you like. I'm not going to run through each one because that would take, the rest of the week. So it's really up to you to go through each one and find what instrument you think sounds awesome. And then you just go down into your controls and then you see what you can experiment with and what to play with. What's another thing I should be mentioning here? Additionally, you got your arpeggiator patterns, right? Or excuse me, you're at the actual instruments. So you got synth basics, synth bells, synth bass, synth chords, and synth layers. So as you can see, there's a lot. There's quite a few options. That's synth bass, synth bells, and you got your synth chords, and then you got your synth layers. So I mean, honestly, with the amount of instruments there are and the sounds, in addition to the parameters and the transform option and the controls, man, you can mess around with this for days. Like, there's so much that you can do, and it's really great. I love GarageBand. Anyway, so in my article, I mentioned 3 different instruments that I love the most, and that I would say the dripping cycles. I like that one, erratic motion, and I like Zen Garden. Those are the 3 that I love the most. I kind of run through the parameters of them in the article. So ultimately, that's about it for the arpeggiator. Yeah, like I said at the beginning, just copy and paste it into, create your melody using your, piano or whatever instrument you like. Copy and paste it into your arpeggiator sound that you like. And then, just go ahead and try and set it up so it sounds dope. Now, additionally, you can also do it the opposite way, where you just start out with your instrument in your arpeggiator and then you create whatever you want with it. You create your melody, in other words, starting with the arpeggiator rather than doing this copy paste thing. However, the reason why I like doing the copy paste thing is because I find that it's a great way to fill out your melody quickly. So let's say you have your melody, right? And then it kind of sounds a bit dry on its own, but if you add this melody with an arpeggiator, it's going to give it more musical context. It's going to give more of a background to work with. But yeah, ultimately, that's about it for this video. Hope this was helpful to you. Make sure you like and subscribe. I always forget to say that in the videos. So yeah, that would be great if you liked the video and subscribed. And I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.